First story. Would I be wrong to post my cheating boyfriends of videos in our joint family GC? The author of the post is listed in the description. So I, 24F, have been with my 25M boyfriend for 6 years. 6 years we have built a life together, grown together, done everything together. He recently had to move away for a job, and I have felt uneasy about the move. He also happened to make friends with a girl. 20s? F. I guess you can see where this is going. I have felt uncomfortable with their friendship from the start. We have argued about her, I have made him unfollow her, I have gone through their messages, and the whole time he has gaslit me, called me controlling, painted me as insane and insecure to both our families. It has caused great emotional distress to me and strained my relationship with his mother, which used to be great. Through all his gaslighting, I even went to therapy to understand why I felt so awful about him being friends with this girl. Whether it was unresolved issues around the move, the physical distance between us, the fact that she sort of looks like another girl who had caused problems for us, etc. IDK. My boyfriend is also very good looking and very much into training, has a very chiseled body, gets a lot of attention, etc. I also get a lot of attention, but I am a more private person and go out less. So get it nowhere near as much as him despite us being comparatively equal looks-wise. So after about 2 months of therapy, I get a DM on Instagram. It's a throwaway alt account, no followers. And it's a screen recording of this girl's OnlyFans. Didn't even know she had an account. It's not under her real name or attached to any of her socials, but I can see her face and know it's her. And she's doing content with my boyfriend. His face isn't in it, but I know his body. I know what he looks like, the noises he makes, the way he does stuff. I've been with him for 6 years. There's a video of her giving him head, a video of her taking back shots, a bunch of lewds/nudes of both of them, a bunch of graphic pictures of facials, just so much stuff. All in all, it's like a 7-minute-long screen recording. No message was sent with it, just the recording. I have no idea who it was or why they sent it. The OV account is only a month old. He moved away the start of January. I don't know how long they've been having sex for, or how the fuck they progressed to doing OnlyFans together. But it's insane. 6 years thrown away for a girl he's known for a few months. And to do it in such an egregious way, to be blatant enough to film himself and put it on the fucking internet. It's disgusting. Painting me out to be insane, making me go to therapy, ruining my reputation within both our families. The whole time he's been fucking lying and filming himself cheating on me. He has been spending more money than usual, going away, traveling, partying, going to restaurants with his new friends, buying designer clothes, etc. I was under the impression he was working a lot, but nope. Probably just got some extra cash doing fucking porn with some fucking tramp. I hate him so much. He's a piece of shit. I hate what he did to me and us. I want to just post the screen recording in our joint family group chat. Let them all know I'm not fucking crazy. He's just a fucking piece of shit. IDK if this is revenge porn. I mean, it's already on the internet, posted willingly. I don't even know if I care. I want him to suffer. I want him to hurt, to feel humiliated. I fucking hate him. ETA. I'm going to bed. And as it's been said 1000x, I'm just going to let you all know. I Googled it, and under law where I live, it isn't under the umbrella of revenge porn, as it was willingly posted to the internet by him himself. It is considered copyright infringement at worst, but is a civil matter, not criminal. And even then, I didn't actually leak the content. Whoever sent it to me did. He might be able to get me on copyright laws, but like I said, that would be a civil matter. The worst I'd get is a fine, if even that. Still, I'll see how I feel in the morning. Update. Some relevant info 1. Did you ever have any idea he had cheated? I had no idea he cheated ever. I had one girl he used to work with at his last job, the one who looks like she could be a twin of this current girl, message me and claim she was fucking him. But she had literally no proof. Not a single text, not a photo, not a screenshot, not a phone call record, nor a single person willing to corroborate what she said. He had a plethora of work colleagues tell me the girl was obsessed with him and a little crazy and most likely lying. I chose to believe my boyfriend of, at the time, 5 years. She ended up quitting work and moving 80+ miles away with her reputation in ruins and everyone at their job treating her like she had the plague. That poor woman was probably looking out for me, and I was so horrible to her. 2. This all happened very quickly. How did you get a therapist so soon? I had already had a therapist who I had been with for 3 years. I felt like I was in a good place mentally to say goodbye to her in December. I got back in touch mid-January when I felt my mental health deteriorating again. I honestly have no idea if I am actually severely mentally ill, or if I have just been psychologically tortured by this piece of human shit. 3. You seem a little unhinged. You sure you're not crazy? I have always had some mild OCD as well as fairly bad anxiety, hence me going out much less than him. That is what he used to paint me as insane. When I say he gaslit me, I mean it in the purest definition of the word. He literally used my history of mental suffering to paint me as literally insane. Oh, it's your OCD. You're ruminating about this girl. Your anxiety is getting really bad. It's just because I'm not around. Stuff like that. 4. Why would you want to subject his family to that? I don't. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was in pain. I have never felt rage like that. It would have been wrong, even if he deserved it, which he absolutely did. Fuck him. They did not. 5. How can you be certain she knows about you? She could also be a victim. LOL. Elmao, even. No. She's a fucking piece of shit home-wrecking whore who deserves the worst. I am listed as in a relationship with him on his social media, which she follows. She purposefully did not accept my own follow requests, probably because she has been posting him there too. Oh, and I also found her Twitter, which isn't private, and she has been liking tweets about sneaky links and that sort of stuff for around a month now, which was fueling my instincts. 3 days ago, she liked a tweet saying, "Why is sex so much better when it's with someone it's not supposed to be with?" She is a literal fucking tramp, and proud of it. Update. So I slept on it, woke up about 2 hours ago to him posting holiday pictures in the family GC right now. I had my suspicions, but I got my cousin to follow the girl on IG. She is private, and she just so happens to be in the same country he is right now, LM Fao. What a coincidence. Yep, they're both in Paris as we speak. How romantic. I did what many Redditors suggested. I used a text template made my "one of you" thank you so much, because if I had tried to send that text, I'd have come across as unhinged. I said, "Hello guys, I've recently had a video leaked to me that shows X having sex and performing various other intimate acts with another woman. I didn't think it would be appropriate to share such a video here, but I will provide it as asked." This woman, specifically, is the one I had been concerned about for a while, and we was actually all lead to think I was crazy for suspecting that something more was going on between them. It's distressing to find out that I was right. I'm sad that AX could do something so disgusting, and I'm sad that I didn't trust my gut. Despite us being together 6 years, this man has shown himself to be an utterly vile human being who has betrayed my trust and hurt me deeply. I was committed to him whilst he was sneaking around behind my back and calling me insecure for my gut instincts. He twisted the knife again and again and tried to ruin my reputation with you all, whilst knowing he wasn't telling the truth the entire time. This is the end, and I want you all to know why in case he decides to lie again. Also, he is most likely with her in Paris as we speak, as followed the girl, and they just so happen to be in the same country right now. Here is all the proof. I love you all, and I think what hurts the most, more than this, more than the money wasted on therapy, more than the cheating, is that not a single one of you had my back. Here is the attached evidence. Don't worry, nothing graphic, but I have plenty of truly horrible videos and pictures if any of you still don't trust that I'm not insane. Please just give me some space and do not reach out for now. I then attach the screenshots of her Instagram story, which show them in the same club in Paris at the same time. A screenshot of the video which takes place in his room, with me scribbling out the explicit stuff on my iPhone editor thing, along with a side-by-side comparison of a picture I took after I had finished decorating his room with him, and a lewd picture of him topless, which I think best proves it's him, his body. I then left the group chat. Within 10 minutes, he started calling, so I blocked him everywhere. His mom texted me saying, "I'm so sorry, I love you so much and always will. Call if you need anything. I'll give you your space, sweetheart, but please do not hesitate to call me anytime. I love you like my own. Please know that." Which honestly turned me into a fucking wreck. His little sister, who is 20 and who is amazing, turned up and just hugged me. She didn't even say anything, we just both sat here cried. She said, "I hope I don't lose you," when she left and hugged me again. I told her she never would. Honestly, I'm a mess right now. My parents are at work and unlikely to see the mess until at least lunchtime, if then. That's basically it. Thank you for everyone who took the time out of your day to message me and comfort me. Thank you for talking me out of doing something truly disgusting to the people who I do still love. They would not have disturbed to see what I had to see. I'm going to go cry myself to sleep, I think. I only slept like 3 hours last night. Update 2. Holy fuck. So I've just been informed, by his sister, he has blocked his mom and sister after they both chastised him in the GC and has now proudly displayed the link to the OUF in his Instagram bio. Glad I helped him to be his unapologetic self. Hope his new career choice goes well. Fucking loser. I still haven't heard from my parents yet. They get out of work around 5, 6, but his mom has said I'm welcome to go and hang out with her as she doesn't want me to be alone. I'm going to get ready now and just go watch some MAFS AUS. Maybe have a cheeky glass of wine. That was our little thing. Just because he's choosing to throw away this amazing group of people, our parents and our sisters, doesn't mean I have to do the same. Family is who is there for you in your time of need, and they are the family I choose. He can choose his of whore if he wants. Good riddance. At least I won't have to see him when I hang out with his mum, sis. Update 3. So I went to his mom's place and sat there with her and his sister watching MAFS. We didn't really talk about anything, just had a glass of wine and watched TV. Eventually I said I wanted to go to the toilet, and I decided to go into his old room, and everything just got too much. So many memories, so many moments that I had cherished so much, so long spent laying there just hanging out and stuff. I had a really bad panic attack and ended up just breaking down, and I felt like I was going to faint. They came up and checked on me, and we all just sat in his room crying. This may sound pathetic, and I'd love to pretend I'm some boss babe, but honestly, I don't think I've ever felt so lost and broken in my life. I loved that man. Like I really, really, really loved him with my whole heart. I had since the day I met him. I can't believe it's over. It doesn't even feel like a breakup. It feels like the love of my life has just died. Like it feels like a death. I feel numb. It got too much, and his mom drove me home once my parents had finished work. Our sisters went and picked up my car while his mom spoke to my parents. I think I was in a state of shock. I couldn't speak. Everything just sounded muffled, like I was underwater. I fell to sleep and only just woke up now. It's 11:39, everyone is in bed, and I'm wide awake. I truly feel lost. Part of me wants to call him, to cry, to beg him to find a way to make everything okay, to tell me it isn't true, to turn back time. I know that's stupid. I know I deserve better, but I have spent every week of my life with him since the day we met. I don't know how to exist without him. I feel like I can't breathe. I just want this all to be a bad dream. Okay, next story. Am I wrong for throwing out my pregnant girlfriend who won't pay rent? I posted here a few weeks ago about her canceling our plans to pick her sister up. She eventually came round to admitting to being in the wrong, begged for forgiveness, and told me it wouldn't happen again. I was reluctant to accept her apology because it took about a week for her to come up with it, but I took it and moved on. What I didn't mention, and probably should have, she's 15 weeks pregnant. Since then, things have been pretty much back to normal. However, Christmas Eve, I discovered my clothes and trainers in the wardrobe had been moved around. Not something I'd have done. I knew she'd been wrapping gifts for her family in there, its walk-in wardrobe in the spare room. I know she can struggle for money sometimes, and my first instinct was she'd been going through it to find something to give to her brothers, as most of it still has tags on. The trainers are still boxed too. That night I, wrongly, looked through her FB Messenger, and she's taking pictures of my trainers asking her mom if her brothers will fit them because I don't like it. I do like them, I just haven't had chance to wear it. Her reply was, "I'll wrap them up then." Also asking if the exact size I am in clothes will fit her brother was on the messages, making me think she's stolen other things. I don't even know half of the clothes I have, so it's pretty hard for me to look and know what's missing, and a lot are with tags on and brand new. I confronted her about it that night, told her exactly what I saw, that my clothes had been moved around and the messages of her taking photos of my trainers. She said her mom was asking what trainers I wore to buy me some. What she didn't expect was me to pull up the screenshots with her reply of saying she's going to start wrapping them and asking them if they'll fit her brother. She then admitted she was going to, but realized it was wrong and it wasn't because I confronted her about it. I look at her phone yesterday while she's asleep to see if there's any mention of anything that's been taken, and she tells her mom he wants to keep the trainers now with all previous messages deleted. She keeps denying it was because I confronted her that she didn't give them away, and she's denying she's stolen anything else, saying I'm blowing it up into something it isn't, and she'd never steal. She says the reason she asked was because she gave a gift intended for me to her brother, but she's refusing to show me the transaction or receipt for that. Tonight, I told her, unless I see proof she's bought gifts for her brothers herself, I'm going to presume she's a thief and she's stolen from me. She's adamant she hasn't and that I'm being pathetic, and she'll show me proof, but not when I ask for it and in her own time. That was the last straw for me, so I asked her to pack up and leave. She has somewhere safe to go because she can stop with her family for now. I'm being called dramatic and basically the one who's in the wrong. She's pregnant, and for the sake of the child, I've been trying to work things out, but this is the last straw for me. Today, she's messaging me that she's canceled the baby's scan to go away and live with her sister. I'm pathetic. She's not lying but can't show me the receipt, and if I'm breaking up with her, she's free to do what she wants. She's saying I have no proof despite me seeing the messages. She's also saying she only considered it and stopped herself, despite me seeing she'd replied after I confronted her, saying she'll have to give her brother something else because he now wants to keep them. This is the way she acts to most things when she's in the wrong. Manipulation and not accepting fault for days where I'll refuse to speak to her. She is caring and hasn't really given me other reasons not to trust her, but this has broken my trust massively. How can I get over the fact that my trust has been completely broken? Edit. I know everyone is telling me to get a paternity test, and I understand why. She's never really given me a reason to suspect she's cheated. It's something I'd do now she's broken my trust, and it's something I've said in a heated argument. The problem is she's told me that if I don't believe the baby is mine, she won't consent to a test, and she'll stop any access to the baby, and my name won't go on the birth certificate. Comments. Commenter. She is a thief. Let her go. Do get a paternity test before you sign the birth certificate. Oop. Yeah, that's the thing. She'd never consent to that. She's told me if I don't trust she's telling the truth, it's my baby, then I don't deserve to have it in my life, and she'll never let me see it. Commenter. Take her to court. Stop listening to anything she says. Commenter. You're going to have trust issues with this person. The problem now is that there's a child involved. If she can't see the error in gifting your possessions as stealing, then her reality is warped. You can either have a calm discussion to discuss what the boundaries are, like at least ask first, or consider separated parenting as an extem if you can't work something out here. Hope you figure something out. Oop. You're right, the child is the priority for me, but I want her to admit what she has taken. Otherwise, she'll think it'll all just blow over when from the messages, I'm pretty convinced she's taken something. I even had to look at the camera I use for the dog over previous footage. She goes upstairs and comes down with 3 wrapped gifts after being where my stuff is. Even after confronting her, she's making out I'm deluded, and after telling her I've seen her already talking about taking her stuff, she just keeps saying, yeah, but I didn't. 2 months later. Long story short, my girlfriend and I have been living together for around 10 months. When she first moved in, she insisted on paying rent, and I was reluctant to charge her if it didn't work out, but she forced it and paid a month. Then I found out she's struggling for money, unable to pay for things, is in a lot of debt and lives month to month. She agreed with me that she'd start when she clears the debt. Fast forward to Christmas, I find out she's been stealing my clothes to give to her family as gifts. Another post on here. She lied for 2 weeks, blaming me until I showed her footage of her taking the things from the camera in the living room to watch the dog when I'm out. I later then discover through letters and texts I've seen appear on her phone she's been doing nothing to pay any of it off. So I confront her. She tells me and shows me messages that her mother and sisters constantly guilt trip her into giving them money and have for years. They'll message her on payday asking for it, and she feels bad saying no, despite none of them ever paying it back. Her mom alone owes her over £6,000. She has taken a ton of loans out for her family, and they leave her with the debt and don't pay it back. Luckily, her credit is now at the point where nobody will loan to her, but she still tries and does it for them. I also find out, I went through her finances, yes, I shouldn't have, but something wasn't adding up and I was being lied to. that in the space of 20 minutes she spent pound 300 on gambling sites. All during this time, she isn't paying a penny towards rent, bills, anything. She'll occasionally buy food shopping or trips out to Starbucks. I tell her enough is enough and she needs to start paying her way. If she can give handouts to her family and gamble, she can pay for where she lives, and she's taken me for a ride when she should have been saving and clearing debts. I make roughly 5x what she does, but I've been fair in that the bills are split proportionally to income. She'll earn pound 1,400 per month and pays pound 600, which includes rent and her share of the bills. I take on the rest, which is substantially more, but I believe it's not fair to take more. On the first of this month, she tells me she can't pay rent. She says she's paid out too much on our trips to Starbucks, food shopping, and I'll get it when I get it, but she doesn't understand why I need it this month when she's lived for free the past 9 months anyway. I've asked her to explain where her money has exactly gone, but she tells me I'm controlling and it's none of my business. In fairness, she will pay when we go food shopping, but rarely in comparison to me. I've kicked her out as of yesterday and told her she needs to find somewhere to live. She is, however, pregnant, and she's using that card as a way to guilt-trip me and make out I've thrown out her and my child onto the streets. In my opinion, she is taking me for a ride and prioritizing her family that is using her over her own family she started. What's the solution here to getting her to see she's not treating me fairly? Comments. Commenter: dude, your life is a train wreck. You will be forever tied to this mess. Commenter: she is the conductor. Commenter: at what point did you think, hey, let's get pregnant? Horrible situation. Update. 17 days later. Long story short, my girlfriend and I have been living together for around 10 months. When she first moved in, she insisted on paying rent, and I was reluctant to charge her if it didn't work out, but she forced it and paid a month. Then I found out she's struggling for money, unable to pay for things, is in a lot of debt, and lives month to month. She agreed with me that she'd start when she clears the debt. Fast forward to Christmas, I find out she's been stealing my clothes to give to her family as gifts. Another post on here. She lied for 2 weeks, blaming me, until I showed her footage of her taking the things from the camera in the living room to watch the dog when I'm out. I later then discover through letters and texts I've seen appear on her phone she's been doing nothing to pay any of it off, so I confront her. She tells me and shows me messages that her mother and sisters constantly guilt-trip her into giving them money and have for years. They'll message her on payday asking for it, and she feels bad saying no, despite none of them ever paying it back. Her mom alone owes her over pound 6,000. She has taken a ton of loans out for her family, and they leave her with the debt and don't pay it back. Luckily, her credit is now at the point where nobody will loan to her, but she still tries and does it for them. I also find out I went through her finances. Yes, I shouldn't have, but something wasn't adding up and I was being lied to, that in the space of 20 minutes she spent pound 300 on gambling sites. All during this time, she isn't paying a penny towards rent, bills, anything. She'll occasionally buy food, shopping, or trips out to Starbucks. I tell her enough is enough and she needs to start paying her way. If she can give handouts to her family and gamble, she can pay for where she lives, and she's taken me for a ride when she should have been saving and clearing debts. I make roughly 5x what she does, but I've been fair in that the bills are split proportionally to income. She'll earn pound 1,400 per month and pays pound 600, which includes rent and her share of the bills. I take on the rest, which is substantially more, but I believe it's not fair to take more. On the first of this month, she tells me she can't pay rent. She says she's paid out too much on our trips to Starbucks, food shopping, and I'll get it when I get it, but she doesn't understand why I need it this month when she's lived for free the past 9 months anyway. I've asked her to explain where her money has exactly gone, but she tells me I'm controlling, and it's none of my business. In fairness, she will pay when we go food shopping, but rarely in comparison to me. I've kicked her out as of yesterday and told her she needs to find somewhere to live. She is, however, pregnant, and she's using that card as a way to guilt-trip me and make out I've thrown out her and my child onto the streets. In my opinion, she is taking me for a ride and prioritizing her family that is using her over her own family she's started. What's the solution here to getting her to see she's not treating me fairly? Update. I sat her down and gave her an ultimatum early last week. I explained to her that we are a family, and became a family when she decided to have a baby with me. I told her if we're going to stay together, she's going to have to be a lot more open. contribute, and no more taking on debt she can't afford, which brings it to my door when she can't pay. I also told her I want to see her bank statements because I suspect she has a gambling problem and is in some serious debt. She agreed to all of this and committed to showing me the bank statements when I ask, and says going forward she'll pay towards bills. I believe she's turned a corner and start getting along with her better, and she moves back in. As I was sat next to her phone last night when she went to grab a drink, her phone lit up with a text message. It read, "Loan accepted by X lender. Click here to accept." I immediately called her out and she starts crying, telling me she has no money left again for the month and she's had to resort to payday loans for some money. I tell her she should have come to me and tell her I explicitly said no more loans. She also tells me she won't be able to afford to pay towards bills again. She works full-time and brings home around £1,400, £1,200 a month, dependent on hours, but a lot of the time she phones sick, so gets sick pay, which is a lot less. I asked to see her bank statements and she refuses, telling me I'm being controlling by asking when she's told me and I don't need to see them. That's the last straw for me. I'm almost certain she's been giving it away at this point again, or gambling. I give her a scenario. Your baby is starving and needs food and there's none in the house. What are you going to do? She replies, "You'll have to pay." That's fine. I'll happily support my son, I tell her, because the mother is clearly a deadbeat. So I asked to see her Facebook Messenger to see if her family have been hitting her up for free money again, and conveniently all of the family members that borrow from her have the chats cleared. She says she deletes them to be tidy, yet mine's still there. I told her this isn't going to work, and she tells me I'm a controlling freak, basically, and she agrees, and I've not heard from her since. Moral of the story is she's too damaged from her upbringing, I'm guessing, and some people you just can't change. She still messages me asking how I am, but I'm just ignoring her except from anything baby-related. I need to move on. I know a lot of people questioned whether she's pregnant, how stupid I was to get her pregnant, I agree, and if it's mine. I've been to every scan, so I know she's pregnant. As for if it's mine, I've never suspected cheating, but she's a serial liar, so I will be forcing a DNA test through the courts. I posted on a couple of different subs to make sure I wasn't getting biased opinions. The above story is 100% true. I wish it wasn't, believe me, but my focus is now getting as far away as possible from her for my own sake. Comments. Commenter. OP, you gonna fight for full custody? OP. Yes, I really can't imagine that child having any sort of life as she continues down this path. Commenter. You can get a DNA test pre-birth. Why wait? Ask her for one now. Her response may tell you something. Commenter. Please be more discerning about where you place your dick in the future. How do you like these stories? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Love you.